How we doing? First of all, thanks for coming. Excuse my voice. I got a very excitable team. Fun to be around, fun to coach, and obviously my voice has shown that. So, first things first. Obviously, since the end of the Cure Bowl, you start to look and you start to shift your focus to the next year. And for me, complacency was never a thought that entered my mind. And the reason being was, last year we had the second youngest team in college football. And so, when you have a young, talented football team, and I think our team understands this, the competition was too great to be complacent. Because as soon as you got complacent, there's another guy that can take your job. So that never entered my thought process. My thought process was, what can we do to continue to improve our program? And two words, came to mind in the offseason as we talked about trying to build our program, the details and the discipline. And so we needed to increase the details in the discipline of our program. And in order to do that, we needed to keep it small. And so our focus from January to May was to keep things small. The daily things that we needed to do as a football team and as an organization to keep things in focus, to keep the task at hand where we can keep our head down and continue to work and to continue to grind to improve. And that's what we did. And to our players' credit, to our coaches' credit, we improved in the offseason. And one thing we learned last year is you win championships in the offseason. You don't win championships when the season comes. And our players kept it small. They were able to make tremendous gains in the weight room. Coach Junior and his staff did a great job in the offseason program, getting their bodies developed. Off-season conditioning, the coaches did a great job in research and development from a scheme standpoint, making sure our schemes are tight and our players can learn. Then you get to June, right? It's summer conditioning, and for us, we transitioned. We looked at it from a standpoint of, okay, we talked about now we have to climb. And in our program, the climb for us is, we want to get to a point where we can get to an elevation where we're comfortable and our opponents become uncomfortable. And that's what we're striving for. So from June to August, we are testing ourselves and preparing ourselves to get ready for the season. And we want to get to a point where we're in rarefied air. And in the season, we want to play in a rarefied air where we can be uncomfortable for opponents. And that's how we want to play. We want to be comfortable and our opponents be uncomfortable. But in order to do that, we have to prepare. And I think our team are starting to understand that. When you watch us practice, the level of intensity, the level of physicality, and the level of competitiveness of our football team has been something that I haven't seen in my 19 years of coaching. It's been something that these guys have grown up. They've matured. The DNA of our football team has changed dramatically. It's been exciting to see. Our defense has gotten a lot better. Is a lot more competitive. We have battles each and every day, offense, defense, special teams. Our ability to play complementary football has greatly improved. And that's a credit to our players. That's a credit to the coaches and what they instill in a day-to-day basis. And obviously our quarterback, Rocky Lombardi, and his leadership and what he does for our program allows us to do a lot of different things on offense and as a program and as a team to get better. So it's exciting times for us as we continue to try to find the edges in our preparation to get better. The thing about it, we score every practice. And as of yesterday, the difference between offense and defense was 1 point. And when you talk about being a complete football team, that's what you want. You want it to be back and forth. And for us to be 1 point separation tells you the level of competitiveness with our football team. But also guys are helping each other, right? Guys are competing for jobs, but they're helping younger guys get prepared to play because in the course of a long season, you never know who you're going to need. And the thing that's exciting is, I talked to our defense this morning, we don't have a 2 deep, we have a 1 deep. because we got a lot of guys that can go out there and fill roles for our football team. And also we got freshmen that can come in here and play. You know, we got probably 5 to 6 freshmen that has proven that they can help our football team this season, and their teammates see it. And I think that's the most exciting thing. We are building depth. We're building quality depth, and these guys are anxious to play. And it's been exciting for me to see the growth and maturity of our football team. I think they're starving to continue to get better and to continue to chase greatness and to get to a level where we feel comfortable in certain situations and separate as we continue to move forward as a program. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Just this year, how different is this offseason compared to last year, coming off of no expectations and now there's a little bit more expectations this season?
I think that's a fair question for somebody outside of the building. But let me tell you something. We had expectations. We had expectations. And our players understand we had expectations, did we not?
Yes, sir.
So it's all in how you look at it. So for us internally, we had expectations, and they went out and did our expectations. So, yeah, that kind of bothered me a little bit. I'm sorry. Let me gather myself. Yeah, because these kids work hard. They work hard, and they're committed to this program, and I'm proud of them and the things that they do, and they have a lot of pride in NIU and what it means and what it represents, and they have expectations for greatness, and I couldn't be more proud of the work that they put in.
Coach, we talked about Rocky's leadership last year. Where have you seen him maybe even take a next step with that year under his belt?
Yeah, no, this guy is, he's taken a tremendous jump in his ability to deliver the ball. He's spacing the ball out. He's making plays. I think he's been a little tougher on himself than I want him to be at times. It's not a game of perfect, but he's playing at a high level. Our defense is playing really, really good and making it a challenge for him, which is good. But, he's standing in there. And, if you watch last year's practice film at this time and this year's practice film, I think you'll see a much improved player. And I think he sees that, and it's exciting to see for our offense.
You said the level of physicality has been at a level you haven't seen. How do you walk that line of being physical to prepare yourself but not risking injuries?
Yeah, no, we pulled the reins back today. I told them to take their helmets off. So we finished the last 20 minutes of practice with no helmets. If they put the work in and they show me what I need to see, then we're going to be smart. And so the last 20 minutes, we took the helmets off and we finished the practice. It wasn't intended to take the helmets off. We had a team situation at the end of practice where I wanted to get some work in, but up until that point, I saw the level of physicality that I needed. And you know what? It's my job as the head coach to evaluate what's going on and say, okay, we're good, and to keep them healthy. Because these guys are going out there and giving us, as coaches, everything we're asking them to do. And so my job is to get into September 1st and allow these guys to be able to play. And, I just never been around in 19 years practices where every day they bring it for the whole time. Normally it's a drop and then you pick it back up. But, every day we practice, the level of intensity on both sides of the ball has been there, right? As my job, I'm waiting for the drop, and then I got to pick them back up. Hey, you guys got to get going. Well, I haven't had to do that. I've had to, play nice, calm down, and so it's a good spot to be in. And, we'll make sure we take care of one another. We're all on the same team. And it's good because, I think these guys understand, the type of team we can be, and they're chasing that greatness.
How good could you be?
Well, we'll figure it out starting September 1st. You know, I don't know. You know, we'll try to play as hard as we can play each week for 60 minutes. I tell our guys, you know, play as hard as you can play for 60 minutes and see what happens. You know, we're not going to be concerned with the results. We're going to be concerned with our process and playing as hard as we can play. And if we do that, we can live with the results. But you know, I think these guys, they're not going to be a scoreboard watching operation. I think they showed that last year. They're going to play to the echo of the whistle until the whistle blows to the final seconds. Even if we don't get the last 2 seconds, you know, they're gonna keep playing. You see, I could be funny. I got some levity. Yeah, I got some levity.
Coach, the bring your own juice was the thing a couple years ago when there was no fans in the stands. What's kind of the mantra this year for this group?
Yeah, you know, bring your own juice. We needed to bring your own juice with no fans. You know, the thing that's so interesting as the DNA of the team changes, you know, these guys have really grown up. And I talked to them a couple days ago. It's been so interesting to watch them grow and mature. You know, they just at a different point. You know, it's like my kids, right? My daughter, she too cool to talk to me now because she's 13, right? They going through different situations. So the things I could say to her 2 years ago, I can't say. So these guys just come to work. You know, I think the Ravens got a saying this year: come to work, ready to work, and that's what our team do. They come to work, they punch the clock, and you know, it's been fun. They know how to grind, they embrace it, and I just love watching them compete.
Is there anybody that stood out to you that you may not have really had? I don't want to say expectations, but just didn't maybe wow, like given that wow factor that you may not have?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of people. You know, I don't want to take the easy way out. I know what you want. You want some nuggets. Let me give you some nuggets. But it is a lot of people. I'm just going through my Rolodex in my mind. You know, Shamar Thornton has been really good at the wide receiver position. Fabian McCray has been really good. Jalen Johnson, a true freshman, is coming along. He has been really good. At the tight end / wide receiver position, George Gums has been really good. Pete Niagara sitting over there. He has been a man in the middle for us. At the running back position, Mason Blakemore has been tremendous. He is a playmaker. He is an offensive weapon. Let me think. On defense, the defensive line, let me think. Zay, tremendous pick for us. Linebacker, we know those guys. We got some young guys. We got two young linebackers, Nick Alvarado, R.J. Miles. We got a young defensive end, Roy Williams. And let me go through the second. Who? Oh, yeah, I ain't get to the back end yet. The secondary, Jordan White, Muhammad Jameh, Louis Fry, those guys have really stepped up. I know I gave you a lot of names, but if I just gave you one name, that wouldn't be fair, right? Then somebody's parent is calling me like, hey, you didn't mention my son. That's just not the right thing to do. Eric Rogers coming back from the injury has been really good. It's good to see him back out there competing. He's doing a nice job, along with the 17, 18 starters we got coming. So those people I mentioned, along with that gives you 30 people, right? Okay.
So you have a gift of being able to let your team know you love, but drive them at the same time. Is that something that you think is a gift, or is that something you're very cognizant of working at?
No, the gift is the relationship, right? We all coach for the relationship. I think that's the part that gets you going. I sent my team a message the other day that Melvin Gordon texted me the other night at 12:30 at night, and he sent me a message. He said, when your guys start complaining about the cone being, he still think I put, like when I was at Wisconsin, I used to put a cone. I started at 50 yards and made them sprint 50 yards. And then if he did it, then I would back it up to 47 to 46. So he said when your guys start complaining about the cone, just remember I'm in year 8 and I'm still running through the cone. And so the relationship piece is what I really enjoy. And I sent it to those guys so they understand that's what it's all about. It's the relationship. And for him to send that to me, and I've talked to our players about that's what we're building, right? I was jacked up. At 12:30 at night, I'm wide awake at that point for the rest of the night because I'm like, that's what it's all about. That's the aha moment that you really love as a coach, that he remembers, hey, when they start complaining about the cone, I can just see his face as a 18, 19-year-old kid talk about, why we got to do this? But now he done made over $20 million, and you say, it makes sense. So that's what you enjoy.
You mentioned Isaiah Green May, and something said Zay.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
I think, obviously, you know the program well as well. So, just what does it say about a guy like him that wants to come to your program and be part of this culture?
Yeah, no, it's just we've been very fortunate with some of the transfers we've been able to get. We have a vetting process. We try to talk to them and get to know them, make sure they fit, make sure they can handle our culture. And, he's been a pleasant surprise. I mean, he's come in, he's done it, he's earned it, and, he works every day. I thought maybe he couldn't tie his shoes. I thought something wasn't going to be right. But he has been nothing but everything we hoped for since he's come in January. So hopefully he can stay healthy and go out there and play well for us.
Are you going to borrow that Ravens Rainey fumble drill you shared on Twitter?
I did love it. That's for the coaches. I hate to go too much Ravens on them. I don't. But I did like it. It was very creative.
Coach, you talk about competitiveness, practice, and everything. Really quick, the running game. You lose your top guy, 5 games into the season?
Yep.
Harrison Whaley. He's back. You got the guys that took you to the MAC championship. How competitive is that spot right now?
The running back position? Yeah, I think.
And you brought new people in. I mean, that's a deep room that you got. Wow, talent.
Yeah, I think we have a chance to be better than we were last year. So it's competitive. I wouldn't trade this group for last year's group. And I think Coach Nick McKissick-Luke would say the same thing.
I got 2 things, Rocky. One, I understand it's the first time you've been the same OC position coach in your career. How much easier is it right now?
It's a lot easier. You gain experience in the offense, and having the same people in the room is also really helpful. It's helpful having different OCs and head coaches and quarterback coaches because you learn a lot of football, but being in the same offense for more than 1 year it's really helpful to allow you to get comfortable and your progressions and your reads and your run checks, all that.
And one more, I know you're motivated by championships rather than individual accolades. I know about Coach Hines' office, there's that quarterback plaque with champions up there. Does that motivate you at all?
Yeah, for sure. Our goal is to win a championship. I want to go 2 for 2 while I'm here. I think we definitely have the team for it. So seeing all the quarterbacks that have been here in the past with championships next to their name, there's not too many with 2, so that's our goal.
How important for you is to just, you were a leader last year, but how much more of being more of a leader this year for you? Is it more important than last year, or is it the same?
I would say it's the same. Something that helps me is that I've been here for a year. Getting here last spring, I kind of had to earn my respect and get comfortable with the players. It's hard to lead a group of men that you don't know personally. So for me now that I have had a chance to meet everybody and get to know them personally, it's made it a lot easier for me to go out and lead and create other leaders as well on the team.
Now that you have that comfortability in this offense, where can this offense go?
I think it can go as far as we want it to go. As far as if we stay clean, we stay healthy. I think we got a really good offense. We had a really good offense, especially in the back half of last year. We got the same guys plus new pieces that Coach Ham talked about. So if we stay focused and stay disciplined, I think it can go as far as we want it to.
You mentioned the running game being maybe even better than last year's group, and that's saying a lot because it seemed like you had a different guy stepping up every week. So is that something you've really noticed throughout these first week of practice?
Yeah, for sure. Running game's improved. We got basically the same guys up front. Pete's the only new guy, like we talked about, and Pete's done a tremendous job up front. With the spots, and a lot of times you get a new center. I'm the guy who has to do all the spots and pointing and making sure everybody knows where they're going. But Pete keeps it easy on me. He's very smart. Understands the game, understands the run concepts. So it's been good, and a good running game always helps out a quarterback. So can't complain. Yeah.
These offense versus defense have been pretty spirited. How nice is it to kind of go back and forth with each other and have that 1 point difference?
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Defense has improved tremendously. I think offense has got better as well. But to be able to go back and forth is, it keeps it competitive. And I think, Coach was talking about how this has been the most intense camp he's had in a long time, and I think that's credit to how improved our defense has been. Offensively, we can't go out there and not play our best ball because defense is going to show up and, give it to us. So we got to come out and bring our best. They got to come out and bring their best, and that's what makes it intense.
Can you give us any insights into personally where you felt you could maybe tweak your own game to take it to a higher level?
Yeah, comfortability with the offense was one. I think that kind of just runs its course. Film study, preparation, all that. For me personally, I worked a lot with throwing mechanics, and that helps with consistency. I think consistency and accuracy is something that I could improve on, and I have improved on. So for me, it was working on my technique, working on my fundamentals, getting comfortable with the offense, and then also working with the receivers to understand, where to adjust routes, looking at signals, when to change plays, when to make audibles. So all that stuff is going to contribute to, more offensive success.
Do you want to be a coach someday? Are you a coach on the field right now?
I'm a coach on the field someday, but I don't know if I want to be a coach yet. I'm still debating on it. I told Coach Ham, I said, don't let me be a coach. Don't let me do it. It's going to be hard. I think you talk to any of these guys, especially the offensive guys, they'll tell you that I'm definitely a coach on the field. I can't help it. It's in my blood. But I think I'm going to try to stay away from it if I can. We'll see. They say, what do they say, Coach? They say if you can live without it, live without it. Coach can't live without it.
How would you Coach was talking about, it's all about relationships. How would you describe your relationship with Coach Hammock, and what about him just kind of sucks you in a little bit?
Yeah, Coach Ham and I have a good relationship. Earlier this year, we're all meeting as a team, and it's up towards the end of the summer, and he's like, "Hey, what did I text you that one time?" I'm like, "We talk every day. Like, what do you mean that one time?" Trying to get me to say something specific. But I think what makes Coach Hammock special is that he's real. A lot of coaches put on, this facade or this, mask, and they're not who they are behind the scenes. But, you get who you get with Coach, and some people like it and some people don't, right? But, but he's real. He's gonna give it to you how it is. So that's what makes him special, and that's what makes you respect him, and that's what made us friends.